Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And it's time for another daily dose of dismal Disney. But in this case, I think we're going to attempt to address the Tinkerbell situation from a more logical perspective.
From a perspective of having worked in around this for years.
Yeah, so there's an article going around claiming that Tinkerbell has been removed from Disney theme parks because she's problematic. And they're citing an Inside the Magic article that's citing a 2-year-old article from the New York Times where they talk about all the problematic stuff at Disney. And again, for those of you who don't know, we actually have worked in and around Disney theme parks for a number of years. Mm-hmm. And we have a little inside baseball into how these decisions are made, and we're gonna talk about it. Geeky still runs piratesandprincesses.net, and she talks about this stuff literally every day.
Yes.
And this came out of the blue because I don't think it's true.
I'm never going to say never because, you know,
it's Disney.
It's Disney.
Right.
But I think the reason because it's Disney that people were believing it. But I don't think yes, they're removing Tinkerbell. They've already removed her. Yes, they did. And this is not new news. They removed her like in February, I think. Yeah. They did. But I don't think it's for the nefarious agenda-based reasons that people are running with. If I'm being fair and honest, I do not think. If I thought that, I would totally tell you. With screaming involved.
Yeah, because I mean we're very critical of Disney over here, especially modern Disney. So yeah, and I do understand fully why people would think this is the case. And again, not to say never, I guess, but like this is probably not what's going on. We'll point to some other supporting evidence. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
Yeah, so here is the article in question. It actually is The Street, and The Street is now getting its news from Inside the Magic.
Don't ever. We've done that a couple times only to bring up something that we've looked into on ourselves. Inside the Magic will post the most ridiculous bullshit, and then when you read the article, everything they said in the headline is not what they'll end it by saying, well, but it's not really true. Or, well, if you look at it from this way and squint really hard and tip your head to the side, they're notorious for this. And the people behind it are just trying to run clickbait because the advertising rates are down, the views are down. Yeah. They own several websites, as we found out recently, and all the writers are miraculously on every single site.
Yeah, basically Inside the Magic and the other Disney sites in this network are clickbait farms. They are cranking out...
They seem very much to be clickbait farms, yes.
Yeah, they're cranking out content, just trying to get as much juice out of these websites as they can before the inevitable end comes, because we've been talking about blogs and how a lot of pop culture blogs and specifically are running out of steam. But yeah, they've run articles before like, oh, Disneyland's going to shut this attraction down. And it turns out it's Disneyland Paris or Hong Kong and not actually Disneyland.
They do that all the time. Yeah. Or they closed the whole park down. It's like they closed like the water park down for like 3 days for like renovation or something.
However bad, if you're a pixie duster, however bad you think Clownfish TV is, they are 10,000 times worse than anything we've ever done.
What was the action? What was the incident that caused the action, according to this article? They said there was an incident. What is it?
Yeah, they took her out of the Town Square Theater.
Right, but they're acting like something happened, like there was an incident that caused her to be removed. What was the incident?
They basically talked about the disruption in the meet and greets because of the pandemic.
Okay, what was the incident?
Yeah, we're getting there. What is the incident? Town Square Theater was the only spot in Disney World where guests could meet Tinkerbell.
At Disney World because they took out the Pixie Hollow stuff, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
No, wait, but no.
There is no incident.
There is no incident. Okay.
There's no incident. Basically, the incident was the pandemic. That was the incident.
Okay. There is no incident. Okay, so, rolling back a little bit first. For a long time, they had a thing set up called Pixie Hollow, and that's where you go meet Tinkerbell. And it was Tinkerbell and some of her fairy friends, and it was because they had the different Tinkerbell movies they had like years and years and years ago, right? So you go to Pixie Hollow, and it was like a meet and greet area, and you could meet Tinkerbell and her friends, and she had the specific dress that looked like the one from the cartoon, all right? So they still had that over at Disneyland. And then they closed Pixie Hollow. And then they were putting her apparently over at Town Hall, is what I'm guessing, or like the place with Mickey and Minnie when you come in.
Yeah, the theater.
The theater, that's it. When you come in to the park, it's on the right-hand side. So they were having her there. And now all of a sudden she's gone. Well, a couple things here. One, Disney does rotate out characters.
Yeah.
Two, it is weird they took her out. I'm not gonna say it isn't weird, but it 10 to 1 it's just so they could put somebody else in there for like some IP thing, and they want the spot for another IP character.
Yeah.
If I were to guess, Tinkerbell, if she was being removed because she's problematic, right? She would not be doing the flyover of the castle at the end of the day.
Right.
She would not be doing the parades anymore, like she's still in the parades. They still have her statue out for the 50th anniversary and all this stuff. She's still in the ride.
Well, the reason, what actually kicked off the Inside the Magic article was this article in the New York Times from 2 years ago.
The partisan political fairy. What does that even mean?
Yeah, basically they're talking about how they removed ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from the fireworks show.
Okay.
They were talking about the whole situation
in Florida. Okay.
They're talking about the vaccine mandates.
Why Tinkerbell specifically?
I don't even think they talk about it. They talk about a Black Princess in 2009, the Candlelight Processional. Oh, I think they're talking about if I remember, and I think I saw this article before. They're talking about stories matter, and they're going through older media, but this is when they put the warning labels on the trigger warnings.
Caution because she's body conscious and jealous of Peter Pan's attention, according to executives.
Okay, now here's Tinkerbell was marked for Now here's the thing, the version of Tinkerbell, and this actually lends more credence to the fact that they're not removing her because she's problematic. The version that they had was the direct-to-DVD Tinkerbell movie, Disney Fairies version of Tinkerbell. You can tell by the dress because it has a leaf pattern on it and all that. If it was a cartoon version of Tinkerbell, it wouldn't have the detail. Just nitpicking here. And those have been discontinued. There are no more movies being made, so why promote it, right?
But they went out of their way. Okay, they were trying to separate Tinkerbell from Peter Pan.
Yes, that's where I was getting. Yeah,
right.
They basically created... Now, it was to sell dolls. It was to sell books.
And DVDs.
But it was also their attempt to get Tinkerbell away from Peter Pan, because Peter Pan is not in... I don't think he's in any of the movies. Is he in any of the movies? I know they had the pirate fairy one.
I don't remember.
But they basically took her...
we had them all.
Took her away from Peter Pan and gave her her own fairy friends, because she is in...
Gave her her own story.
Gave her own story. They gave her agency, and she is one of the most bankable, marketable Disney characters of all time. They are not going to get rid of her. Okay.
She's literally one of their icons.
Yes.
You have Mousers and Tinkerbell. They make new merchandise for her. They put new merchandise up for her all the time. She's in, like I said, she's still in the parks and available at different places. Their whole one of the reasons they removed her from Peter Pan was because of the complaints that, basically, he was using her as his dusting, and it was we were spanking her. It was weird. So they basically took her out of it and made her own, gave her agency, gave her her own story, gave her own backstory, made her a little heroine. The heroine, like the hero, not heroin.
She's doing heroin
like when
now.
You smack her ass.
It's called pixie dust. That's coke. But
they did all this stuff to separate her, to remove her from that that stigma and stereotype, and they put her in, and then they had her with her friends. I don't think they're getting rid of her because there's some nefarious agenda-driven plot to get rid of Tinkerbell from Disney.
Nefarious.
I think.
Oh my God, that should be a new series. It should be like what's it called? Disenchanted, and what's the other one that Pinky Boo watches?
I don't remember.
Descendants.
Descendants. You call it Nefarious?
Nefarious, about evil fairies.
Nefarious. There you go. Someone's gonna steal that. You should make a comic of that. Trademark. Boom. No, it's just I think that more likely than not, they're taking her out of there. They're taking her out of there to make room for something else. Because the town hall, or that town, whatever they call it, the theater when you come in they've limited spaces, and they always have Mickey and Minnie, and they try to put a big character in there, so they're probably just going to rotate it out for some IP shit, because that's what Disney keeps trying to push. They don't have any Tinkerbell movies right now, so they're going to push something that they're trying to market. So most likely this
dress, again, not to be, look, I know some of my Disney shit, right, except for Descendants. I kind of blanked on that because I never really watched it too much, but they were in the park too. I think
they did. They were for a while. They had dance parties and stuff. Anyway,
this is the Pixie Hollow props.
Pixie Hollow.
Yeah, this is not Peter Pan Tinkerbell. This is Pixie Hollow Tinkerbell. This is her dress because it looks like a leaf because they made it more realistic and detailed. And they probably took parts of what was left of it. And then, yeah, if they were going to bring her back, they would probably put her in the more simple Peter Pan dress.
Which they have. And that's what the Tinkerbell that flies over the castle wears is the regular and dress. And there you can see her in the parades and stuff. And they have different costumes depending on where you see her. If it's about her being some kind of problematic person, they changed her to being a black girl in the Peter Pan and Wendy. There was some backlash for it, but most people just don't even care. They just didn't even watch it. If it was about that kind of thing, it's not going to be because they had Ariel. And in the Hollywood studios, they had the black version of Ariel. Well, you can go meet her there. But the regular version of Ariel was still available in the parks other places. So I don't think it's a racism issue. I don't think saying it's a body issue. That's insulting. What if you happen to be a woman who looks like that? Obviously, the actresses look like that.
No, actually, the model they used for Tinkerbell, she looked exactly like that because they did like a motion capture on her. They actually had a woman that looked like Tinkerbell act out Tinkerbell so they could draw her realistically. All the little, she's looking around, looking at her wings, and she's all that stuff. The pouting, all of that was
based
drawn
on
from
a real
life.
person.
Yeah.
So Plan Disney actually addresses just a few days ago. I looked it up before. They put it on here, but I'd seen it and sent it to you before. That why Tinkerbell isn't available in the parks. Now it's Disney's own people saying this. So of course, if Disney wanted, they're going to tell you what they want to tell you.
Right.
But here's what they said. Go ahead.
Yeah, this coming from Disney. It said, at present, Tinkerbell does not hold a meet and greet opportunity at the Walt Disney World Resort. Now, I believe she still is in Disneyland because they still have.
She might have been. I don't know. I thought they said they might have taken her out of there too. I don't know. No, they said she still is at Disneyland. So yeah, she's still Disneyland. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm saying. So of course she does make her evening flight over the Magic Kingdom Park at the end of Happily Ever After. During our recent visit, my family had an amazing view of Tink from just outside the Plaza restaurant. We've done that too. It's actually kind of cool. Another way to see Tinkerbell live is during the Festival of Fantasy parade, which is like every day. And I had that pulled up, but whatever.
That's the one with the cool, looks like stained glass wings.
Yeah, she looks like a Tiffany lamp, kind of. The parade takes place daily at the Magic Kingdom. When the dragon doesn't catch on fire, I added that. Please keep in mind that character appearances are subject to change. This happens all the time. You can also see Tink in other forms on Peter Pan's flight and Mickey's PhilharMagic. Both are in the Magic Kingdom. Of course, Tinkerbell has her own Fab 50 statue in Magic Kingdom. You might need to ask a cast member to point her out. Disney character meet and greets do change in the Disney parks. That's true. It's always a good idea to keep an eye on Walt Disney World Resort's website for character updates. In case you're wondering, Tinkerbell currently holds a meet and greet in Disneyland. She's more likely if she were problematic. Look, if she were problematic, I'm going to be honest, they would have canceled her in Disneyland first.
Before they did it in Florida.
They did it in Florida. Because with Song of the South, we knew that Splash Mountain was on limited time because they took Zippity Doo-Dah out of the music in Disneyland first. I don't think she's canceled. I think they might kind of figure out a way to have her without tying her to Peter Pan if that is the hang-up that people are having. But remember, she had the meet and greet to promote the Disney Fairy movies, and they're not making them anymore.
No. And they still have her in other places in the park. They have lots of characters you don't get to meet, but are in the parade or found in other places or in different parks. It's not unusual. Is it possible Disney's doing it for some problematic reason? It's possible, but I just don't see why. Because this article was a couple of years ago. They brought some other things back. I don't see a reason why they would do it. The more likely reason was Disney being Disney, and they have some dumb brain fart or some other IP they want to promote, and then you have to take Tinkerbell out to make space because people can still see her in the parade, but they can't see this new character unless we give them a prime spot.
Because what they do is they always had it's been a long time since we took the kids there, but I think it was always like Mickey Mouse and then like another character or somebody that they were always trying to promote. Same with Storybook Hall, right? They would always change out the princesses, whoever's
they would change them out.
Popular.
I remember when I put Elsa and Anna in there at Starbucks. It was at Fairy Tale Hall. Whatever it was with the princesses. They had a new location, and people were running. It was ridiculous until later they started doing fast passes, and they might still do it there. I haven't done it for a while because our kids are older, but I remember scoring a fast pass to get Pinky Boo in to see the princesses and Tiana and stuff, and she was all excited because she wanted to meet them. But they do change things out often. They're still putting out toys and merchandise and everything else for Tinkerbell. they're just not going to promote her right now because that's not something they're trying to promote. They have too many other things they want to promote, so they're kicking her ass out of there, and they figure she's still available in the park other places. I don't think it's for some underhanded reason. I really don't.
No, especially, I mean, look, especially now, they're under so much fire now for being too politically correct that I think they would, think twice about it. Like you said, even with Ariel, they did not completely replace Ariel. They had like dueling Ariels at one point, didn't they?
All the stuff that comes out now, except for that one cartoon show, is all back to regular Ariel.
So Merida, yeah, they this is as of last summer. I don't know if she's still there or not. We haven't been there since last summer, but they moved her to Liberty Square, which makes total sense. And then somebody said they had Mirabelle, I guess, over by the castle.
Put Mirabelle over that way, yeah.
Yeah, they change all the time. That's why they have a character tracker on the app, and then
sometimes they'll get rare characters for different events, or just because they have big crowds.
Yes.
They'll send out rare characters to try to distract people.
Yeah, no, that is true. Actually, when the crowds are getting pretty bad, when they'll start sending out like all kinds of characters you don't see very often. Country Bears, they've actually sent them out before. They've had the Splash Mountain characters out before in Frontierland. Now, I don't think you're going to see them as much, but there are characters that used to be in the park all the time, and you don't see them, like Mr. Toad or whatever, but they'll bring them out for special events. So, I mean, look, very, very long story short, I think this is a nothing burger. I think that people are latching on to it because, it is believable.
That's just it. That's the crux of it right there. It's believable, but if I thought that was the case, I would say so. But I really, truly don't think that's what's going on in this situation.
No,
but we've been doing this for a long time.
It's inside the magic. You can't, look, I'm going to be honest, you can't trust a damn thing they say anymore. I don't even think they're trying. I think all they're doing now is just looking for an angle. And I think they're living on borrowed time because, these websites are not going to last. And a lot of Disney fans that used to be their base have turned on them because they're like...
whole articles dedicated to why you don't go there.
Yeah, pretty much. So that's it. Oh, side note. The reason I know so much about Disney fairies, and I guess I'm man enough to admit this, I actually tried out for, this was about 15, 16 years ago. I tried out for the Disney fairies comic books from Paper Cuts because I was already working on licensed Disney comics. And they decided to go with a studio in Europe to just handle all this stuff. But yeah, I was actually in the running to draw the Tinkerbell books.
True.
But so I knew like her dress. I knew because I had to draw the individual leaves and everything compared to the animated version of her. She has a different model. But anyway, that's how I knew that stuff. We gotta wrap this up.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.